Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends upon which time you are seeing it. Today I would be telling you the highlights of today's news. So here it goes. Makar Sankranti is an Indian festival that marks the end of winter solstice and transition of the sun from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. People celebrate the festival by paying their respects to the sun god and offering prayers for a good harvest season. Though with contrasting names and festivities, in different regions, India will come together to celebrate this auspicious festival. President Srimati Draupadi Murmu will be on a 3-day visit to Meghalaya and Assam from 15th Jan 2024, Monday. On the first day of her visit, the President will inaugurate the Meghalaya Games at the PA Sangma Stadium in Tura. Cold to severe cold wave conditions are likely to continue over the plains of northwest India during the next 3 days and decrease thereafter. PM Modi will release the first installment to 1 lakh beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin under the Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Mahabhiyan on 15th Jan Monday through video conferencing. PM Modi will be on a 2-day visit to Andhra Pradesh and Kerala from 16th Jan to launch several development projects worth more than rupees 4,000 crores in Kochi, including the new dry dock and international ship repair facility at the Cochin Shipyard Limited. The government has invited nominations from Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar 2024 in the field of science, technology and innovation. The awards will be announced on 11th May on National Technology Day. Rajasthan bans liquor on 22 Jan. In view of Pran Pratishtha ceremony at Sri Ram Mandir in Ayodhya on January 22, the Bhajanlal Sharma government in Rajasthan declared Consecration Day as a dry day across the state. Over 22.6 million students have registered for the 7th edition of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Pariksha Pe Charcha 2024 to be held on the 29th of this month. Union ministers and several BJP leaders on 14 Jan 2024 Sunday took part in a cleanliness drive at the pilgrimage sites in the national capital. Now I would like to take you through the defense news. Army Day, observed on January 15 every year, marks the taking over of General K.M. Cariappa as the first Indian Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army. General, later Field Marshal, Cariappa took over the reins of Indian Army from General Sir Roy Butcher, the last British Commander-in-Chief, on 15 January 1949. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh addresses Veterans Rally at Air Force Station Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. 8th Armed Forces Veterans Day was celebrated on 14th Jan 2024, Sunday, across the country to pay respects to the ex-servicemen for their selfless duty and sacrifices. The Indian Army's surveillance capability along the border with Punjab is all set to get a boost as the forces is set to deploy its Drishti 10, that is a medium altitude long endurance drones at a forward base in the Punjab sector. Spectacular air show by the Indian Air Force at Marine Drive. Primary objective of this outreach program was to create awareness and foster a deeper connection between the Indian Air Force and the local community. Lieutenant Commander Prerna Praveen Diosthale will lead an all-male crew. She is currently the first lieutenant on board the INS Chennai, the missile destroyer that rescued a foreign merchant ship hijacked by pirates off the Somalia recently. Now coming to some international news, highlighting the increasing global backing for India's permanent membership at the United Nations Security Council, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said that sometimes things are not given generously and one has to seize it. Maldivian President Mohammad Muizzu on Sunday asked India to withdraw its military personnel from his country. asked India to withdraw its military personnel from his country by March 15, even as the two sides deliberated on finding a mutually workable solution to enable continued operation of the Indian military platforms in the island nation. The first meeting of the India Maldives High Level Core Group was held in Malé on Sunday, said the Ministry of External Affairs. During the meeting, the ministry said both sides held discussions on wide ranging issues related to bilateral cooperation towards identifying steps to enhance the partnership, including expediting the implementation of ongoing development cooperation projects. The India Nepal Intergovernmental Subcommittee, that is IGSC, on Trade, Transit, and Cooperation to Combat Unauthorized Trade, convened its latest session in Kathmandu on 12 to 13 Jan 2024. Now, coming to some world news. In a domestic setback for Maldives President Mohammad Muzu, the pro India Maldivian Democratic Party, that is MDP, secured a decisive victory in the capital Malay's mayoral election on January 13. MDP candidate Adam Azim has been elected as the new mayor of Malé, succeeding Muzu, who recently resigned from the position to participate in the presidential elections last year. Denmark turned a page in its history on 14th Jan 2024 Sunday as Crown Prince Frederick X became the king, succeeding his mother Queen Margrethe II, who formally abdicated after 52 years as monarch. North Korea fired an apparent intermediate range missile into the sea off the country's east coast. It comes as tensions run high in the region after Pyongyang's recent launches of an intercontinental ballistic missile and its first military spy satellite. In Indonesia, Mount Merapi on Sumatra Island erupted again, spewing volcanic ash that blanketed nearby villages and prompted more than 150 people to evacuate. US President Joe Biden has said the US delivered a private message to Iran about the Houthis in Yemen after the US carried out a second strike on the group. Canada is considering a cap on the number of international students allowed to live in the country. According to media reports, Immigration Minister Mark Miller made this announcement amid a growing housing affordability crisis. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu marked 100 days of Israel's war against Hamas in the Gaza Strip on Saturday night by reiterating his vow to continue fighting until the Palestinian terror group is defeated. Now, some random facts. The Indian Army, that is INA, was formed in 1942 under Mohan Singh, who was an officer in the British Army. It was formed with the aid of the Japanese in Southeast Asia during the Second World War. The first INA collapsed and disbanded in the December that year. The army was then revived under the leadership of Subhash Chandra Bose in 1943. The army was declared to be the Arzi Hukumat-e Azad Hind Free Indian Provisional Government, Army of Bose. Thanks.